Hey y'all, welcome back to Doozy Talks with Susie, where we keep it real about fitness, nutrition, mindset, and how to live in sync with your body and your purpose. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever followed someone else's diet and wondered why it didn't work for you? You follow it to a T, and somehow you're not getting the same results they were getting. And they're telling you, well, it worked for me, why isn't it working for you? Today, I'm going to tell you why I don't eat carbs like most people, and why that one change unlocked better energy, fewer cravings, better sleep, and even less anxiety for me. And when I say I don't eat carbs like most people, I'm saying I still eat them, but I don't eat them the same way everybody else does that you'll see on the internet or with nutrition courses. I had to find a way that worked for me. And this isn't about fear of carbohydrates or the fad diets. This is about strategy rooted in your biology. So most of us have heard things like eat 40% carbs or carbs are fuel, don't be afraid of them. And honestly, that works for some people, but not all bodies process carbs the same way. And mine, it definitely doesn't. I tried it all. I balanced my macros. I tried plant-based. I tried paleo, raw vegan, Mediterranean. I would eat oatmeal and fruit smoothies in the morning because that's what we're told is healthy. But I kept crashing. My blood sugar would go up and then it would tank. I'd feel bloated, foggy, emotional. I needed a sugar just to think again. And it was becoming frustrating. And I started noticing this, like I said, almost like an addiction to getting that sugar in my system on a constant basis. And I realized this isn't normal. And I would watch my blood sugars and test them regularly to make sure everything was online. And I did this because I have both type 1 and type 2 diabetes that run in my family. So I wanted to keep track of everything, make sure I'm keeping my health at the best optimal levels that I can. And it just wasn't looking the way it should. That's the best I know how to explain it. And the blood sugar levels I didn't like seeing how they fluctuated the way that they were. So the thing though was the game changer. And that game changer was learning that I had genetic mutations that impact how I process insulin and carbs. That's when I started realizing that. And I have a lot of them. There are a lot of genetics, a lot of genes that you can look at that will tell you how your body's going to process carbs. Even on the gut microbiome level, I got those genes tested. And even those are a little not where they need to be at genetically to be able to properly process carbohydrates. And then there's a lot of other ones on processing glucose, processing sugars after a workout, and all those things. And my insulin sensitivity, it's been amazing learning these things, but it helped everything start making better sense. So there's a few genes like your IRS1, your HNF1A, and your SLC25A13. These affect how well your cells absorb the glucose and how stable your blood sugar stays and how efficiently your mitochondria can turn carbs into energy. And learning about these and a lot of other ones, because those aren't the only ones that you can look at. There's a lot more that go into it. And those main ones, though, they'll tell you a lot. And so now that I have learned these things about my carbohydrate metabolism, all of this stuff, instead of just cutting carbs out completely, I time them very strategically. And I'm basically low carb, but I don't completely cut them out. For instance, in the morning, I'll eat mostly protein and fat, like collagen coffee with a little bit of tallow and a small amount of A2 milk. Understand, I know milk still has carbohydrates in it, but I use such a small amount that it doesn't do anything to my blood sugars. And I'm also having it with fat and protein, which helps manage healthy blood sugar levels. And then at breakfast time, I'll usually have a steak or some kind of beef and eggs, something tasty like that. This helps keep my blood sugar steady, and I don't end up feeling anxious or hungry a whole hour later. I'm feeling good. And before cardio, I skip the carbs. I do cardio in the morning. So zone 2 cardio, fast or fat fueled, and this encourages my body to burn the fat for energy, which is especially helpful with insulin resistance markers like the ones that I have. And then after cardio, I'll keep my carbs low, but I'll have a little bit of carbohydrates like some fruit, just enough if I need a little extra fuel. But I don't usually even need that much. Even just half a potato, I can feel how it impacts my energy levels. And so that's going out the window too. My main carb meal comes after strength training, which I do in the afternoon. I split up my workouts so that it works better for my time. Honestly, that's why I do it. I just don't have time in the morning to do my strength and cardio, and I'd rather get cardio out of the way first. So I do cardio. It doesn't require as much mental function to make cardio happen. So I can just walk or run, and that doesn't take a lot out of me. So I'll do that. Afternoon, I'll do some, after my strength training, then I'll throw some carbs in there because my body is ready to muscles are like sponges after lifting. So they soak up all that glucose that you're eating and use it for repair and recovery. And after strength training, that's why you're going to find that you're more insulin resistant. That's how I am. If you're like me, that's what you'll notice. So if your training schedule is like mine, cardio in the morning, strength in the afternoon, and then save your biggest carb meal for after lifting. That's when your body uses it best and will store less of those as fat. So get this. If I eat more than 15 grams of carbs earlier in the day, and I haven't done heavy lifting or anything, I usually find myself getting bloated or even cramping. It's crazy, but pay attention to what your body's telling you. That's all I can say about that part. I've become so in tune with how my body communicates. I shouldn't be eating this. Oh, I should eat this. This works better. This doesn't work. Lots of trial and error, but listening to your body, it'll tell you what's going on. So I eat them before I do any heavy lifting. It's just a casual day. Maybe it's the weekend and I didn't work out that day. I eat 15 grams of carbohydrate and I'm not doing anything for it to be done with. I get bloated. I'll get crampy. I'll have inflammation. But when I eat those same carbs after lifting, I'm fine. Figure that one out. I have no pain, no bloating, no inflammation, and I feel amazing. But really, that's something that I'll dive into more in another video because the timing of carbs can completely change how your body reacts to using them. Anyways, so someone can be like, oh, she's just guessing here. She's just making stuff up. I'm not guessing here. There are key genes that have helped me figure this out. So I want to go over those really quick. So you can look at them up yourself and see the background on it, everything it has to do with it. You have S1. That impacts how well your cells respond to insulin. A mutation here means sugar stays in your blood a little bit longer. Then you have your HNF1A. This affects how your liver regulates glucose. My variant means I struggle with blood sugar crashes. And if you notice blood sugar crashes, look into that too. And the next one is FGF21. This controls carb cravings and your brain's reward from sugar. Like that excited feeling you get when you have sugar, that's what I'm talking about. And I have a variant that makes the sugar more addictive. Go figure. And SLC25A13, such a long one. We should talk to whoever's in charge about making these things for our DNA a little bit easier to understand. Because that's a long list of letters and numbers. Who's going to remember all that? Anyways, this one impacts how efficiently your mitochondria converts carbs into energy. And if you're just slow, you'll feel sluggish or inflamed after carb-heavy meals. So it's not just about what I eat. It's about when and why. And if you're not ready to change everything yet, just try these. Here are some small but powerful shifts you could attempt to add into your own. Or maybe you're vegan and the majority of your diet comes from carbohydrates. So here's some ideas that might help a little bit. Try adding cinnamon to your coffee, your smoothie, whatever it is that you're eating that or drinking. Throw some cinnamon on it. This helps lower the blood sugar spikes. Start meals with protein, especially if you're going to be eating fruit or starchy carbs. That's going to help keep things balanced. Pair carbs with fat or protein. This slows down the glucose release. And another one that I try to encourage everybody to do is just take a 10-minute walk after eating. It helps your muscles absorb the sugar because, again, you're moving those muscles. The muscles are going to be feeling like they need energy. So then your body's just going to send all that straight to your muscles. Watch for hidden liquid carbs like oat milk, juices, or sweet protein shakes. Those will spike you faster. You want to keep an eye on those. These are gentle changes that help you feel better today, even before diving into your genetics. If you don't have time, or maybe you're just not interested in your genetics, but you notice you struggle with blood sugar regulation, just try these few simple steps. See what they do for you to help you out. Something to ask yourself that might help you get in the right direction, understanding what's going on, is, do I feel sleepy after eating? Do I crave sugar in the morning or before bed? Do I get bloated or gassy after healthy carbs? Do I wake up puffy or inflamed? If so, it might not be the food itself, it might be the timing, and your body might be asking for something different. I started logging how I felt after every meal as I'm eating, and just paying attention to everything I eat and how much. And I wasn't tracking the calories. I was tracking data because I already knew what my calorie count was. And so I was focusing on the data here. And I was like, am I clear-headed? Am I sleepy? Am I craving something an hour later? Then I layered in my DNA results, and that's when it all clicked. I didn't need a stricter diet. I needed a smarter one. Here's the thing. Final thoughts. Carbs are not bad. And your body isn't broken if you're having trouble digesting them. You might just need a little change about when and how, not what. You don't need to cut everything out of your diet. Just make a slight adjustment to when you're eating and how much at the time. That's the thing that's really going to make a difference. This is about aligning with your biology. And the moment I stopped copying other people and trying to do what everybody else said, I found this other person on the internet said to eat like this, and then this person said to eat like that, and that person said do it this way, and that person said to do this. Instead of doing all of that, I started learning my own genetic rhythms, and I got leaner, I grew stronger, I became more calm and gained more energy, and you can absolutely do the same. So here's the thing. If this helped you see food in a new way, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who's doing everything right but still not seeing results. I'm going to make another video soon, and I'll share why I stopped running 5 days a week and started walking more, and how that completely changed my stress, recovery, and body composition. Until then, stay curious, stay grounded, and remember, you are fashioned by grace and set apart for a reason. I'll see you guys next time.